Through show this week. Very excited to introduce you to an amazing guest that we're going to be working with today. I've had a few technical challenges with my phone getting on here, so apologies for being a couple of minutes late. What we are going to do is just wait for our amazing guest to come on, and if you are thinking about some of the challenges that are going on for you right now. You know, maybe you are experiencing some things that are happening to you. Hi, Lubna. You're experiencing some things that are going on for you. Maybe like you've got some extra stress that's happening. Maybe there are situations at home or at work. Maybe there are things that you're going through that have been incredibly painful in your life, and you've overcome them in a way that made you stronger. And tonight we're really focusing on how you get over those setbacks and challenges, like what happens when these things, you know, come and give you a, you know, the universe is knocking or something happens to you. How do you really get beyond that? How do you get beyond the breakthrough so that you can really live the life that you deserve to live and continue supporting others at the same time? So Lubna, I don't know how I'm going to add you to the actual video on here. I'm not quite sure. It just seems to not be letting me do this, but on my phone the camera would not work for some reason on my phone. So let's just see how we would be able to invite you on here. It might be that I need to get you on the phone. But I'm sure that we should be able to bring you on. So just while we get this set up, have a think about what's one thing that that you're really proud of, and I want you to share it in the comments. What's one thing that you're really proud of that, even though life threw everything at you, everything that could go wrong went wrong in that situation, and you came through it and you felt really proud of yourself for overcoming that setback or that challenge in your business. So let's have a look. Lubna, I think I'm going to have to call you instead. So I'm going to give you I'm going to call you on Facebook and let's see if we can get you in this way. So by the way, those of you that are watching, who's going to the Destined for Bigger Things conference on Friday this week? I'm very excited to see how many of you are coming. I know we've only got a couple of people watching right now, but lots of people always watch these replays. So, okay, so Lubna. Okay, I'm calling you. Hello. Hello, hello. Here she is. Lubna, meet Lubna. So, okay, this is the way we're going to have to do it with you for today. Can you hear me okay? I think this is going to be like the technical challenge brand breakthrough. I love technology and technology loves me. Is there a reason why my phone is going absolutely crazy? It's doing some really weird things. Okay. Okay, let's try again. So for those of you that are watching, hi May, it's great to see you. I can see Lubna is on as well. So maybe you can share what happens with you. Oh, it's Shelley B. Hello. Let's go and find Lubna again. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, so I'm just calling you. I'm not going to do it on video. Lubna, if you can hear me right now. Lubna, are you here? Yes. Yeah. I can hear you. Oh my goodness, it's like we need to just keep these mantras going. I love technology and technology loves me. So Lubna, I really, you know, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's not working quite how I imagined it would. I wanted to pull you in on the screen this evening, but we're gonna be resourceful with our resources. So, Lubna,
Yes.
you are speaking. Well, you're speaking all over the Netherlands. I'm constantly seeing you talking all over the place. I'm loving watching your journey as you're building your brand and the things you're doing. Just if you could share with us a little bit about how you got into doing this. So, why do you do what you do?
Why I do what I do is because I was employed for a very long time. And can you hear me at all?
I can hear you, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm putting you right up to the speakers. Can everybody else hear? Can you give us a thumbs up if you can hear her? Okay, so we're getting some thumbs up. Awesome.
Okay, brilliant, because it would be unfortunate if I keep talking and nobody else is hearing but you. I've been employed for almost 20 years, and in that period, I have seen, I've experienced myself, but also seen in my colleagues the frustration of, what's the word I use? Stress, having to live up to expectations from others, and if you're fortunate, they're high enough. If not, they're very low. So you keep thinking, there's more to me. I want to do more. And about a year and a half ago, I was done. I need room. I need my freedom. So I'm jumping in entrepreneurship so I can be able to stand on stages and coach people to get out of this frustration and help for most people before they end up in a burnout.
Yeah.
And impacting themselves health-wise, but also their relationships and their dreams and whatever else they want to do in the world.
Yeah, and it does have an impact, doesn't it? I mean, I've been through burnout myself, so I understand how incredibly tough that is. And actually, I don't know if we ever do really get over burnout. If we go beyond a certain place, it can have really negative effects. And I know that it affected you as you were in a career that really was taking it out of you, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially after a couple of pivotal moments that really challenged me. Yeah. And what I've learned from people is that it takes a very long time before you acknowledge that you're in a burnout.
Yeah.
So during that period, you're already impacting your health and your performance.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
And so, so you developed a whole system around this, didn't you? And actually, for those of you that are watching now, if you've ever felt burned out, like give us, let us know. Like, have you ever been to a point where you've been, and it's not even like it's physically exhausted, is it? When you get to burnout point, it can be spiritually exhausting. You could be like emotionally exhausted, not just physically exhausted. So if you've ever been at that place, like type yes in the box here, because ultimately, it's when you get that setback or when you get that challenge, which is what we're talking about tonight, if you're already burned out, it's going to be so much harder to deal with that particular challenge. So Lubna, when you went through that particular process, what was something that or now you've been through the process, what would you say are some of the trigger points that you now see in others? Like, how can we recognize if we're getting to a point of burnout? What are the signs?
Well, most of the signs is you get frustrated around the smallest things.
Oh.
Really the smallest things, a colleague being late for a meeting, a JV partner not showing up or not responding to your messages, and you trigger massively. So it's the smallest things, but your emotional response to it, you explode. And if you're alone, that's a good thing because you're the only one that's impacted, but it usually happens when you're around other people, so you explode and people tend to get a perception from you for, I better not say anything and we better leave that person alone. And we're all social beings, so before you know it, you feel extremely lonely, you have absolutely no idea what's going on, and even then you think, everyone around me is against me.
Okay, so then So it's almost like your soul is actually taking the hit on this.
Absolutely, because that's where it starts. It starts psychologically and emotionally, and it gets physical in the end. And at a certain moment, just your body will take over and tell you, you're not listening to me, and now I'm going to take over because you need to do something else, or this is going to go towards something you do not want to happen.
Yeah, and then it becomes irreversible. In some cases, it can become irreversible, you know, and it can lead to severe mental health issues as well if untreated or undiagnosed.
Well, definitely, because I know a lot of people that have gone through a burnout, and it wasn't their only one. So you always keep in that pattern of it might happen again. I've known people who've been in it for 3 years. So imagine your quality of life being so low that 3 years you're alone at home, not doing anything.
Wow. I mean, that's really challenging, isn't it? Because I mean, like, how many millions of people are going through that right now? Like, we get on a bus, or we sit on the train, or, you know, we sit on a plane next to people, or, you know, we're walking down the street, and you know, many of the people that are walking past us could be internally turmoiled with this very thing that we're talking about. And in fact, so many people could be dealing with that you know, we're just walking around as a nation, really, kind of blind to the fact that so many people could be going through this. And, you know, isn't it easy for us to lose our temper or to make a judgment about someone and think, you know, oh God, you know, but you never know what they're going through. And they could be going through this exact thing that we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, it's even, I can tell you a story. One of my early bosses, who resembles me in character, ambition, enthusiasm. I mean, we loved working together, and we could spend hours working. I knew her for 2 years. She ended up in a burnout, and it took her 6 months to come back. But it did not only impact her and her family, it impacted me, because I thought, if this can happen to you, and we look a lot alike, it could happen to me. And if there's something I will never, ever want to go through, is go through a burnout. Yeah. And in the Netherlands alone, and that's what my heart breaks each time I call out that number, 1.5 million people are suffering from the symptoms of burnout or are in a burnout. And just to make it even worse, there are about 9 people that are employed in the Netherlands, whether they're entrepreneurs or working in an organization. That number, and that's only in the Netherlands, so we're not a very big country.
No, I mean, that's unbelievable, that statistic. And ultimately, like you say, it doesn't just affect you, it affects everybody around you as well. And so I mean, let's talk about then, you know, how do we tackle, you know, even when we're on top form, we're getting challenges, we're getting setbacks as entrepreneurs, we're experiencing that every day. And sometimes, you know, in a 10-minute period, you could have already had 3 of those. So the ups and downs of entrepreneurialism. But how do you best tackle those so that your mental health is still intact, so that your relationships are still intact? Like, how do we deal with those setbacks and challenges in the best way?
Yeah, well, the first step is become aware that setbacks and challenges are part of life.
Okay.
There's not one single human being that can say, I am free of challenges and setbacks. It's simply not true. The second step is that there are certain strategies you can implement in your life that will help you go through setbacks and challenges easily, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Okay. Could you give us some examples of those?
Yes, there is the concept is called HERO. It's an acronym. So there are 4 elements. The first one is hope. And hope is defined by a combination of willpower and way power. So not only your goal, you have a goal-directed determination, because we can have that, but you also need to have a variety of ways to meet that goal. One of the things that happens is people have a goal and use one strategy. And as soon as they encounter a setback, that's it. They either stop, give up, or even give up on that goal. Well, what if you think of multiple strategies that when you hit a setback and you can't tackle it at that moment, you can switch to another one. You progress instead of stall.
Yeah.
And for hero, each one of us as human beings have a certain amount of hero in us. So it's not set, it's not in your DNA. And you can train to go to a higher level of hero. And that means that when you encounter a setback and or challenge, you won't be impacted in the same way as if you have a low level of hero. Right.
And just saying hello to everybody. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Laurie. Sandra. Sandra's here as well. Hi, Christine. Rex. Hello, Rex. So Corinne's here as well. And so welcome. We've just had a few technical challenges this evening, just to let you know. That's why I'm sat here with Lubna on my phone, putting her right up to the speaker so that you can hear her. Because the content is too good to not have her on the show. So we're looking at the hero model, and I love that you talked about the higher level hero, really tapping into that higher level hero. So what are the last two parts of the hero system?
Yes, well, the first one is hope. The E stands for efficacy, which is self-efficacy, and it's basically your belief that your abilities will help you gain effect, gain results.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a goal, but you don't believe that your talents and skills are enough, then a setback will throw you off course, literally.
Okay.
The R stands for resilience, and we all know resilience is the capacity to bounce back and grow stronger.
Yeah.
And you can train that.
Yeah. And do you find that? Do you think that is resilience something that is that inherited, or is it learned?
Well, fortunately, what I've come to experience, and even the research has confirmed it, each and one of has a certain amount of resilience, and you can train to up-level that level of resilience. So it's not set at all. Okay.
So really hacking into that hero, it's like on those times where you really need it most, a setback or something's happened either in the office or at work or with a client or something, your travel plans didn't go to plan. Maybe you turned up to deliver a live stream and your phone wouldn't work. Like, how do you deal with that setback? And resilience is actually a key thing. And, I almost find that resilience, certainly in my experience, with me, I find that resilience is almost like a muscle. Like you go to the gym and you're weightlifting, or, you're building something, you're stretching muscle. And I find that resilience, especially when you're delivering live shows like this, resilience is a key point, because things do happen. Technology goes wrong. Wi-Fi doesn't work, all the things that could happen. If you're resilient and you think, actually, no, like this show is going to go ahead by hook or by crook, it is going to go ahead. You just make it happen. And this show is just a small example of the things that, as you're running your business every day, things happen. And if you remember the first time it happened, was it like massively stressful? Show me some love if you've been through something where it's like, oh my God, that was horrendous. You almost didn't feel like you were going to live through it. It was that bad. And then here you are, you're alive, and it didn't kill you. And next time it happened, you knew what to do.
Yeah, we're all still breathing. Actually, the example of this call is a very good example of the hero concept. Because we had a goal to do this show today.
Yeah.
We have a variety of ways of doing this show, even by phone, instead of going live on Facebook. We believe in our talents and skills to make this work. And we bounced back and grew stronger, because this is also a strategy to use to go live. So you don't have to reschedule the show or let it go. And it's all about the content being delivered, and it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be in any maze. And if you're just optimistic, which is the O of hero, then you'll succeed now and in the future.
Yeah.
And if we tackle it back to setbacks and challenges, the theme of this show, you need all four aspects to tackle all the setbacks and challenges in your life, and do it effortlessly.
Yeah. And it's amazing because the thing is, once you've done it once, it kind of, and also being the demonstration for others, you know, because like you said, it would have been so easy to kind of cancel the show, reschedule, do other things. But, you know, ultimately, like us doing it this way, now for those of you that are watching this show, you now know that no one died because we couldn't get Lubna on screen. You still get to access, but it's like you think on your feet. What are some of the other ways you could do? So if there's ever a point where you're delivering a live show, you now know that this is a way, this is an alternative way to be able to still ensure that everybody gets the content that they deserve and need to have in their lives. And, you know, I always find that it's so easy for us to say, oh, I'll do it next time. But every single time we deliver one of these shows, every time we show up, every time we are the drop, someone is always there that says, I needed to hear that today. So just keep swimming, just keep showing up. So Lubna, can you give us an example? So maybe actually in the new book that you've just launched, maybe there's an example you could give us, maybe a little sneaky insight into what you wrote in your chapter as the challenge or the setback that you overcame. Can you give us some of that, a little cheeky snippet?
Yeah, sure. The title of my chapter is The Golden Cage of Unhappiness. The
Golden Cage of Unhappiness. That's a title and a half. Wow.
That's the title. And it's about a pivotal moment. And I chose a pivotal moment from a place of, if I had to think back, what was the moment that changed the trajectory of my career? And that landed me on the path of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now.
Wow.
So it was 6 years ago. That's a very long time ago. And it was a moment in time where if you had asked me a month before it happened, how do the next 5 years look for you? I would tell them, I'm staying here for the next 10 years in this organization. I love what I do. I have the best clients. I'm working from a place, from my talents, and I'm enjoying myself fullest. But that was not, so I believed without a shadow of a doubt that I was living my passion and I was on purpose. Little did I know that the universe had other plans for me.
And it's there like, I am the universe.
Oh, believe me. And the universe knocked several times because I refused to listen, because I had told myself the story that this was my purpose. I was supposed to be in that organization doing what I was doing at that time. So I thought, I'm denying this. This is not true. I need to stay here. I can't leave. Yeah. So I was hit with several challenges and setbacks until I got the message.
Wow. And how was the message delivered? In my case, I almost had a heart attack. That was one big, massive message. The message was delivered from the consultant saying to me, Miss Blindell, if I see you in this room even one more time, I cannot guarantee that what you are doing to your body is going to be reversible. So what was that, like, what was the knock from the universe for you? Like we've heard the defining moment, but how is it showing up?
Well, I was literally told, you shouldn't want to be promoted because you'll end up in a golden cage and never leave the organization. I was just told that I had to leave.
Wow. And yeah. Like, how did that feel? How did that feel when you went through that? Because it's almost like, did you feel that, thank goodness they made the decision for me, or did you feel like the decision had been taken away from you?
To be honest, I was thrown off course, literally. And I'm a very grounded person, but I was completely off my game. I didn't recognize myself at that moment. So that was, I still can't believe it, but I was really shocked, because at that, in hindsight, they assumed what was best for me instead of asking me what I wanted.
And that's powerful. And at the time, it can feel like it's the end of the world, right? And now
I was done.
Yeah, and because I remember, you know, a similar situation happening to me many years ago, and I remember like the decision was taken away from me. You know, when the company that I was working with, it was the one of the first companies that I ever worked for, and they went out of business. And I remember them calling, like there were 50 of us in the company, and I remember them calling us all into this massive boardroom. You know, and you know, the whole place had been decorated to show how wealthy the business was. It was that kind of place. And you know, then we go in, and then it just seems like this weird kind of two worlds. It's like you're telling us you're going out of business because you haven't got any money and you can't pay us, and yet we are stood in a room that is demonstrating how wealthy you are. Like, how can that be? And I remember that decision being taken away from me, and going back, and I was just gutted, absolutely gutted that they'd made this decision. But then I look back and I go, well, had they not made me redundant, if I hadn't have lost my job because they'd made these terrible business mistakes, I wouldn't have learned what those business mistakes were and then built a whole career around avoiding them. And I've made plenty of my own along the way. But I saw the writing on the wall, and I didn't follow my gut instinct. And so for me, that was a big lesson in following my gut instinct. And actually, you know, had they not made me redundant, I might not be sat here talking to you right now. I could still be in a job. And how like different would my life be then? And so how do you feel now when you look back on that moment, Lubna? You know, can you look on that and think, oh my God, that was like the best thing that ever happened to me?
Oh, in hindsight, I am so grateful for those people having done what they did, because I truly believe that if they hadn't said those words, I'd probably still be there, and maybe even had a burnout or two.
Yeah, right. And you know, I mean, just if you know someone, if you've ever felt burned out, or you know someone that is feeling burned out or going through burnout, just write yes in the comments box here, because, you know, I want to see how big this problem is. I want to see, you know, I mean, as Lubna, can you just quote that? You quoted a figure. It was something like 1.5 million people in the Netherlands are experiencing some form of burnout right now. So, and how many people are there in the Netherlands? Just
17 million.
So you got 15 million and 1.5 of them.
And you have 17 million people in the Netherlands. Around 9 million of those are working, have some type of work.
Okay.
And 1.5 million of that 9 million is experiencing symptoms of burnout or burnout.
Wow. Wow. So even if they're not feeling tired, they are agitated more than they usually would be. They're not experiencing life maybe how they felt before when they were in flow, and they're you know, maybe feeling completely off compass, like, you know, the mojo's not there.
It's even worse. Part of that 1.5 million is actively disengaged. That means that they're sabotaging the organization they're working for. They're sabotaging their own success and their own performance.
Wow. And is that the company culture that has set up that kind of way, or is this society, you know, just in your opinion?
In my opinion, what I've met some of those people is that they're out of alignment with themselves. They've stepped into the rat race and hamster wheel of trying to meet the expectations, the outer expectations. Yeah. And believe me, if that's the only strategy you use, expectations will up level. They'll level. So you keep going, keep working harder and harder, but you'll never meet up. And if there's not a balance between outer expectation and inner expectations and in alignment with your authenticity, you're done.
Wow. And you know, I mean, this just doesn't happen in the workplace, does it? This can happen in your business as well. I remember in one of the businesses that I built many years ago, I built it over 7 years, and you know, we're exiting at £7.8 million of value. But the thing was, I'd built the business and was not happy. And I mean, actually, this is why my heart was hurting. This is how I ended up in that consultant room, because I built something because I was very good at doing the thing, but it didn't mean that I needed to be doing it in that way. And that, you know, I'd built this agency, you know, because I'd gone through, you know, I started life as a designer. And so, you know, there's this kind of expectation that everyone wants to have their own design studio. And so it was like, okay, well, I'm only successful if I have my own design studio. So then I get my own design studio and I become very successful with that design studio. And then I partner with my business partner. We bring web together with branding and design. And then it becomes, you know, kind of like PR and social media and video marketing and all these things and SEO. And the agency grows really big. But actually, it wasn't fulfilling me at all, because, you know, I could only work one person at a time. And even when I got my team then could only work with one person at a time. So the company was always limited. And I was always limited as a result. And for somebody whose number one core value is freedom, followed directly by creativity, my soul, it just shrinks. I start to really die inside if I'm not living freedom and being creative. That's the biggest soul killer for me. In fact, for those of you that are watching now, maybe you could write in the comments box, like, what is it that kills your soul? Like, what's your number one core value? And how do you feel when you're not living that number one core value? Because that's another key piece, isn't it, Lubna, is, you know, getting really in alignment with your core values. And even if you just start there, is thinking, you know, well, what is actually important to me? And am I getting that? Is that being fed, or am I getting fed up?
Yeah. It is really important, because that's part of being your authentic self, being in alignment with your core values. I've literally this Tuesday witnessed a conversation of an entrepreneur with a potential client who was so out of alignment with herself that she completely tanked the conversation.
Wow.
So instead of getting the job, getting the request to do a quotation, they were doubting her abilities, because she was trying to promise something and to meet the expectations which she was assuming they had. And I was sitting at that table and I'm thinking, how am I going to make this clear to you that you're doing something that is not helping you at all?
Oh, wow. I mean, that's just, and this is happening every day, isn't it? So, So what is a strategy? What is one thing that we can focus on that, thank you. What is one thing, thank you. Everybody say hi, Jen. Thank Jen for this amazing cup of tea that she just brought in for me. I feel so loved. Thank you. So yeah, what's one strategy that we can take away from this such a powerful thing? And thank you so much for giving your time so generously to come and share this with us. You know, we've gone through the hero model. What is one thing that, if we are feeling like that right now, if we're feeling a little burned out, or the mojo isn't there, or the universe is calling, or things just keep going wrong, and there's only so much you can blame on Mercury retrograde, right? Yeah. You know, there are things that, you know, when people give say, oh, it's going wrong and this is happening, you know, maybe it's going wrong for a reason. Maybe it's all happening because, you know, you're getting this kind of, the universe nudging you. No, you know, you're kind of on path, but you're not quite there. What is one thing, one strategy, one thing that we could do, even from right after this call, that would get us back in alignment with what our purpose actually is?
Find someone, or either call someone and share how you're feeling right now. In all honesty, every part of what you're feeling, whether it's scared, angry, frustrated, or whatever it is, find someone and tell them your story. And the only thing the other person has to do is listen.
Wow. And how powerful is that? So you just, maybe, there's some, all of you that are on this call, you're watching this call. There are other people that are commenting in the thread right now, and you might never have met them before. And, and what a better way to get to know someone than to arrange a call. So I'm going to encourage you right now to buddy up with somebody on this show that has put a comment in the thread. Just reach out to them, maybe send them a message, and say, I'd love to find out, what's happening for you right now, and how can I support you with that? I mean, what an amazing way even to do that with a stranger. And it might even be easier for you to do that with a stranger than someone that you know sometimes. What a great way for you to get to know each other. Lubna, what do you think of that idea?
It's actually a great idea. In my experience, it's easier to talk to a stranger because they don't have any frame of reference on you, so they don't know you or have a certain image of you. And the only thing that the other person has to do is listen and encourage you, because as John Maxwell says, encouragement is oxygen for the soul and fills your heart with hope.
I love that. Encouragement is oxygen for the soul. Can someone write that for me, please? Encouragement is oxygen for the soul. I love that. And actually, when you have that encouragement, that's what also helps with the resilience. Like you said, we've all got it within us, but sometimes we can't see it. Like, it's like, I can't see you, but I know you're there.
Yeah, but that's basically step one. Become aware that you have some sort of level of hope in you, that it's not bad and it's not fixed. Usually that is enough. And if you really want to, then you can train it. It's not fixed. You can make it easier for yourself. Wow.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lubna, again, and thank you for bearing with us. We've found an alternative way of being able to deliver the Brand Breakthrough Show, and thank you to you for listening and bearing with us. Even if you just come away with one little thing, or one new contact or one idea. Thank you, Sandra, for writing that for me. To me, that's our one drop. That our one drop has made a difference to your day, and just wake up every day and think, how can I be that one drop for someone else? And actually, jumping on a call with each other could be just the one drop. You never know that when you reach out to someone and they're feeling a certain way. This whole social media stuff. It's so easy to look and think, oh, their life is perfect, or they're too busy, or, but that's what social media does, isn't it? It gives us this false perception, or even a false expectation. We talked about expectations tonight.
Yes.
And, and social media can also have you comparing yourself to others, thinking the expectation is that, I have to be a certain way, or I have to live a certain way, or look a certain way, or be a certain way, travel a certain way. All these expectations, and it's so easy to see that. And I got so caught up in that, especially when you're starting a business, and you're building your business, and you're looking at other people that are further ahead of you. It's so easy to look at them and go, well, it's all right for them because, and you can fill the end of that sentence in with whatever you've possibly said it to yourself before. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? It not only kills your confidence, but it kills your resilience as well if you keep comparing yourself to others in that way. So, Lubna, is there anything you want to share with us about the upcoming event that you're going to be at on Friday?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me a wonderful story to share tomorrow. When I asked my book sisters, when was the last time you did something for the very first time, I can now share I've done a Facebook Live through the phone for the very first time. Thank you for giving me that story and experience. Thank you for everyone that is watching. The event. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm scared at the same time.
Yeah.
if I'm really honest, because this has been a roller coaster of emotions, from highs and lows. But I'm also very much looking forward to seeing my book sisters in real life, being able to hug them and celebrate together. I'm looking forward to meeting all these fabulous women that are going to attend the Destined for Bigger Things conference, and we're going to party Friday night, celebrate a fantastic launch, and hope that we impact as many lives as we can, because that's the reason why we do what I do. At least.
And I love it. And so the Destined for Bigger Things conference, for those of you that haven't heard about it or you haven't booked your ticket yet, there is an opportunity for one of you to win my ticket, because unfortunately I have to fly over to Bali, and it's going to take longer to get to Bali than I thought. I thought I'd be able to kind of go to the conference and then fly away straight after the conference, but I'm just not going to get there in time to run my retreat. So I'm gutted that I'm not going to be able to make it. So I'm going to offer that ticket to one of you on this call right now to thank you for showing up. This conference is going to be an amazing conference. You are surrounded by an incredibly talented, passionate, motivated, kind, contribution-focused, creative, freedom-focused entrepreneurs, business owners, and women who are coming together. And I think there might even be a few good men there as well, who are coming together in support of each other, to collaborate, to champion each other, to celebrate all of the things that led us to this moment, but then to learn some new strategies of what you can do with this amazing gift and all these other amazing gifts and the genius that you've learned through your life, all of the fears, all of the F-ups, all of the things that have happened to you that led you to this moment, that mean that your story could make an impact on somebody else, and to learn some of those key things that you can do and take forward in your life. So there is one ticket that is already paid for, and the first person to type into the comments box, love. I want you to type it in capital letters, love, big, capital, big, enormous, huge, freaking gigantic letters, to type in that word love. I'm going to give that ticket to you, and you can either use the ticket, or you can choose to pay it forward. So if you already are going to the conference and you know someone that wants a ticket, or you know someone that you would love to bring with you, it's an opportunity for you to pay it forward to somebody else. So there you go. Let's share the love. Let's make sure that somebody who really, really, really needs that ticket gets that ticket. And Lubna, good luck with your physical launch of your book, because the Kindle came out last week. The Kindle version came out last week. And and Judith, thank you for sharing the link there. So for those of you that might want to also book to go on to it, if you don't win the ticket, then you'll need to book your ticket. So Judith has put the link there. But you have the physical book that is actually launching live at the event, I believe. So the published version.
Yes.
Excellent. So Lubna, I'm hoping that I can task you with, if I can give you the money for one of those books, can you get all of the authors to sign it for me? Then I can get it from you when I'm in Holland at the end of the month.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, okay. Hello, Alethea has joined. Hello, Alethea. Okay, Judith, she's going to grab it and find a friend to give it to. Awesome. Okay, well, Judith, just write love in capital letters. I want to see the love. Just show us some love anyway. You can't beat having a lot of love. So, Lubna, thank you for loving on us today. And for all that you do, all that you are, all that I am and can be, because you are in my life. And thank you for being the drop for me, for all of us on this show tonight, and for all the people that are going to receive that amazing drop from you on Friday and beyond. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sammy, for having me on the show. I absolutely loved it, and sharing about Hero.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see more happening about that in the world. So, okay, I'm too far. Judith's giving love, love, love. Excellent. Okay, Judith, there you go. You have my ticket to pay it forward to somebody else. I think there's quite a few people that are on the call right now that are in America or somewhere else, so they can't physically get to it. But let's make sure that somebody in the UK gets that ticket. Thank you so much, Lubna. I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you. And for those of you that are tuning in next week, I will have a special expert on here for you next week. I'm going to be in Bali. I'm flying to Bali tomorrow to deliver the Mailbox Money Mastermind. And then we fly straight from Bali to Australia, and we will be launching the Brand Builders Club think tanks in Australia. So we'll be in Brisbane and in Sydney. So if you know anyone in Brisbane or Sydney, I would love and fully appreciate your introduction to them, so that we can partner up with them and see if there's a way that we can get out there and start really supporting more businesses to change their business and therefore change their life. So take care, have an amazing evening, and you'll have a brilliant expert in place for next week. And so I'll see you when I get back from Bali. And while I'm traveling around, I will create some lives and share them with you as I'm getting the learnings. So look out for the journey, and I'll look out for yours. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Mwah!